Good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful Monday evening, and I've got my two Greg LeMans. I have the Tourmalet and the Nevada City. Two totally different bikes. The only thing they have similar is they both use 853 Reynolds tubing, and they both have Unicrown steel forks. So let's first talk about the Tourmalet. The Tourmalet is actually a beautiful bike. It's 53 centimeters center to center, 54 center to top. What's on it? Well, 853 Reynolds tubing, a 3x system, so triple chainring up front, 9 cogs in the rear. It's using Shimano Tiagra, carbon 105 pedals, carbon seat post, quill stem, unfortunately. Really nice Bontrager wheels, especially that back wheel. Really nice setup. And yeah, is it a tad big for me for what I traditionally ride? Absolutely, but the long top tube really makes the bike comfortable. And since I have short legs and a longer torso, it actually fits pretty well. Seat post is, what is it, tip of the saddle to the top tube, about a little under 7 inches, so 6 3/4. Now, the Le Mans Nevada City. This one's really tight geometry because it's a smaller frame. This is a 50 centimeter frame, and that's measured center to center. Also 853 tubing, Unicrown fork. What's nice about this bike is it's just light. It's super light because it's a small frame, but they added a lot of upgrades. Carbon handlebars, carbon seat posts, physique saddle, a Thompson stem, and this one has a quill adapter on it, so it gives you the ability to change stems and handlebars very easily. I just love the way it feels. Yeah, I pushed the saddle back as far as I could, simply because I didn't want to replace a Thompson stem. That stem alone is about $120 stem, so I didn't want to put some cheap stem, increase the weight of the bike. I just shot back my saddle, and since the rails are long on it, it worked out perfect. This is only a 2x system, and it uses a Sora, the old Shimano Sora 9-speed. But I'm going to be honest, guys, this thing shifts better than some of my newer bikes. And that's just because the bike's dialed in beautifully. Very compliant frame. I can't say extremely stiff, but I can say extremely comfortable. The steel forks make all the difference. So the Nevada City was a mid-range bike back in the day. I think it retailed for about $1,600. It does have eyelets on the front fork. Now, I don't know if those eyelets were for racks or for fenders, or what the English call mud guards, but not sure. But I noticed the eyelets are also on the Tourmalet, and the Tourmalet is a traditional road bike. No eyelets on the rear end, so it's not a touring bike. The geometry suggests road racing, just like the geometry on this bike suggests road racing. But in my opinion, it's crit geometry. It's really tight. Even the rear wheel's tucked in pretty well. Usually a touring bike will have a lot of space between the rear wheel and the seat tube. And both Nevada City as well as the Tourmalet are very traditional. So the diamond is really tight on the rear end. Not as tight as today's standards, where the wheel's almost touching, but tight 20 years ago. So those are my two steel steeds. I really enjoy them. And I'm not going to do much to them. You know, they're older bikes, 20 plus years, but they held the test of time, and that tells you good quality tubes, good quality bicycles will last as long as you keep them upgraded and as long as you keep them maintained. And more importantly, just go out and ride, guys. That's the key to any great bike. Talk to you all soon.